Good evening, y'all. How are you? Oh, that was weak. We're Miamians. Let's try that again. Good evening, y'all. How are you? I love it. So we all know the quote, "To think in such a place, I led such a life." On campus, this phrase is plastered everywhere. Yet when you finally find yourself no longer surrounded by the red bricks, the gravity of this phrase and everything it represents suddenly hits you. I look back at my time at Miami University, and this phrase brings me both extreme comfort yet discomfort at the exact same time. Let me explain. Imagine two different incoming Miami students. The first, National Vice President of a career technical student org, President of their high school suicide prevention program, and Business Manager of the high school theater. It's the exact candidate a school like Miami would want. And then there's the second student, a 2.7 GPA who failed a majority of their classes. Noted on their report cards was often the words, "does not go above and beyond." The student does not seem to fit the mold of a Miami student whatsoever. At 18 years old, these two students were me. Seemingly, there was nothing extraordinary about me. Sure, I had some impressive extracurriculars, but ultimately, as many of my college rejections had shared, there was not substantial reasoning to prove college was a viable option for me based on my applications. Let me give you some additional context to my life at that time. I was born to two Indian immigrants, Raj and Amrik. My mom, Raj, was only able to go to school until about 6th grade and had an arranged marriage to my father at 17 years old. Fun fact, they met after they got married. And somehow they're actually still married, and very happily so. Thank you. My father, who dreamed of one day becoming a doctor, never got to go to traditional school and instead continued on the family expectation of being a priest, a role that every man in my lineage has held since the 1700s. They immigrated to the US in the 90s. I was born shortly after they got settled in the States. My siblings and I lived with our folks in a one-bedroom apartment that cost about $500 a month at the time. My father, who made $850 a month, often remained stressed about our finances. I had a good life. I had loving, hard-working parents, but I lived a starkly different reality than all my peers. My parents could never help me with homework. My parents don't even speak English. My parents were never at our seasonal parties or recitals or whatever fourth graders hold for their parents. I never did an after-school activity that cost money because they were both working, and I, at the young age, decided that I was never going to be a burden. My parents did everything for me, and as a result, I wanted to do everything for them. I started learning how to file taxes at the ripe age of 8 years old, became fiercely independent, and had a passion and dream that one day I'd become so financially secure that they could rest. College seemed like the obvious answer, but despite the countless hours I worked at my local Hollister, where I made $8 an hour pre-tax, I was never going to be able to afford it. In early February 2019, it all changed. Miami had sent me my financial aid package and offered me a full tuition scholarship titled the Access Fellows. The scholarship is meant for students whose families make a combined income of less than $35,000 annually, and students themselves who have quote-unquote extreme potential to be change makers. As someone who had always considered themselves a victim of circumstance, and quite frankly, unremarkable, my life suddenly changed. This scholarship was the sole reason I could now pursue higher education. Once I got to campus, I was unstoppable. I got appointed by the Ohio Governor's Office to serve as its student trustee for 2 years, and I am so lucky to be joined by my co-trustee this evening. I co-founded an academic support group for women of color. I started my own business. I co-authored million-dollar grant applications, became a nominee for the Truman Scholarship, and became student body president, all while working part-time jobs and surviving the global pandemic, might I add. Thank you. The Access Scholarship itself is tragically beautiful. The donor put Miami in their well and wanted their remaining estate to go towards students who needed it. I wonder often if she was alive, if she would be proud who her donation went to. Every day on campus, I wondered, did I do her donation justice? The reality is my success is a culmination of the people around me who sacrificed so I could finally be at an equal line to my peers. From my incredible mentors at Miami to the donor who allowed me to live my life to the fullest on campus. And while I wish I was this special enigma, the reality is I'm not. I speak for thousands of students who are not here to say it. Thank you. If you are in this room today, somehow, some way, you have changed the life of a student on campus. And I am one of so many whose entire life was changed through one donation. I ended up snagging a role at JP Morgan in Columbus, Ohio, right before I started my senior year. A job that actually provides a salary that is double what my parents make combined. 4 days ago, my father frantically FaceTimed me. Naturally, I assumed he needed to place an Amazon order. Turns out I had received mail, and again, so confused as to why he's FaceTiming me, I finally answered during my lunch break. Turns out I had received a letter from the White House. It was a letter from President Biden, congratulating me on graduating and telling me I put in extraordinary work to be where I am today, reminding me that I have simply changed the life of my entire lineage through one act of graduating. Suddenly, the 18-year-old in me who was told she never went above and beyond, despite everything she had been told, was healed. I wish I could tell you the look on my father's face as he read that his daughter got recognized by the American president for being the first in our family, let alone lineage, to graduate. The truth is, one person's investment allowed me to change the financial course of not only my life, but my entire family moving forward. The truth is, Miami knew the woman I was destined to become far before I even knew it was possible. And while there are many people on campus that made my experience what it was, I must shed light on two people that are here with us today. Like I mentioned, I had the honor and privilege of being student body president. What I didn't share was that I was actually Miami's first Asian student body president and only the second woman of color to hold this position. Thank you. While that's an awesome feat, what people don't tell you is that being the first is a very scary feeling and is often terrifying. A word that I would use to describe my experience being student body president very loosely. And so those days when things were hard and I didn't know what to do, or perhaps I was the target of a nasty Instagram post one day, whose office would I go to cry it out? President Crawford's. The one man on campus who understood exactly how I felt in that moment. And I don't even know if he knows this, and I'm sorry I'm saying this in front of a group of people. But me and my vice president, who is also a woman, we would refer to President Crawford and Dr. Crawford behind closed doors as mom and dad. Because even now, even today, if you saw me and Dr. Crawford, you can tell that she is the person who, no matter where I am in the room, she's always got her eye on me to make sure I'm okay. And I can't tell you that, even when you get to campus as an Access Scholarship, they don't let you loose. I had a mentor that met with me every week of college from freshman year to senior year to make sure I was okay, to make sure I understood what an academic advisor was, that I knew that you had to schedule for classes and people just don't do that for you. The simple things that being a first-generation student comes with. Even though I got that scholarship, many first gens go to college and they can't complete. And not only due to this Access Scholarship was I able to complete college, but truly due to the support of both President and Dr. Crawford, my senior year, probably the hardest year I've ever had in my life, was successful due to the relentless support those two gave me. A round of applause for them too. While post-grad is equally as terrifying, might I add, I look forward to the day when I fully step into the power that comes with being an adult. What I've learned is it's the power to change someone's life. And while I am far from that for now, in the meantime, I will enjoy this evening with you all and simply count my blessings. Thank you for your time tonight. Love and honor.